Yanked my headlights out of the front of the car. I figure since it's down at the moment anyway, while I'm waiting for my new suspension to show up, it's time to redo the headlights. Because they're all yellowed, they're leaking, the fog lights don't work, one of the yellow capsules is broken in here because it was leaking. But I'm going to strip all the rubber and metal off these things, then I'm going to bake them. Pulled off these brackets mounting here that go to this mount on the bottom of the light, and I'm putting them in my little rust bath here of Evapo Rust. Learned about that from Dave at the Redneck Garage. It's tough work. Got a package from California. Let's open her up. So I'm not sure if these are going to work or not, but on the headlights in my Integra, the fog lights are supposed to have these yellow glass capsules inside. One of them is broken, so I've got a white fog light and a yellow fog light. Well, my buddy Mike, who apparently has his own business cards, which is awesome. If you follow him on the YouTube channel, Oh Yeah About That, you'll know that he recently redid the fog lights in his '89 Prelude, and he didn't like the yellow. He actually took the yellow capsules out and he put in LEDs for his fog lamps and turned them into driving lamps. So I sent him a message and I said, hey, I don't know if these will fit, because as far as I'm aware, on the Integra JDM headlights for the 90 to 93s, to replace these when they break, you can find an older Acura Legend. You can steal these out of the Legends fog lights. And I don't know if the Prelude ones are going to work or not, but Mike was kind enough to send them my way, and I'm going to give them a shot. Thank you, Mike. So I said I was going to bake my headlights, and I was. I was going to take these headlights and put them in this oven and bake them. However, I happen to live in a very small apartment, and this is one of these stoves that's it's a half stove, so my headlights don't fit. I got the heat gun out, and I'm going to finish disassembling these by just pulling off these metal clips, heat everything up with the heat gun right around the seal, and then I will pull them apart. The whole purpose of baking these things is so that you get even temperature right across it. Reach in with some gloves and just pull it apart. From what I've researched on the forums, most guys say you bake it at like, I think it was 10 minutes at 200 degrees or something like that, so I don't know, we'll see what we can do, but I don't want to mess this up. Success! Saved the corner piece. Now I just need to heat this entire thing up. I think the key to this project is basically just going to be lots of patience. Really would have preferred to have been able to do the oven method. Could I have borrowed a friend's oven? Probably. Did I want to wait for that? No. Alright, I'm not going to try this with free hands because I don't have them, but if you look, it's starting to separate. So I'm just going to work my way around here, nice and slow. I'm a little upset that I'm using a screwdriver. I should just run to the garage and get my plastic kit, but I think as long as I'm slow and careful, this will work. Okay, we're making progress. Getting a pretty good gap. Just very slowly heating around, flipping it over top and bottom, and working my way down, just pulling it apart. Now I've got a gap, I'm just prying it apart with my hands. It's a little warm. Got to be careful not to melt the plastic. We are definitely going to get this. Alright, I think we might be there. Just gradual heat application, a little bit of pressure, and There. Ah! There's one. This one still has its yellow glass capsule in here. So I'm going to pull that out. Compare it to the two that... Whoa! Compare it to the two that Mike from the Oh Yeah About That channel sent me. And see which one of these is best. Because if you look closely, these two are actually slightly different. This one's a little bit taller, and this one's a little bit darker yellow. So the key is definitely patience and even heating. You gotta get this kind of clip. Mine's a little butchered up, but get that popped over. I've got to be really careful on this side because the lens is cracked right there, which does not make me happy. Cracked all the way down to about there. There we go. That one took a little longer. I think it had a lot more silicone on it, which is surprising because this is the one... Ooh, that's still warm. This is the one that had the big water leak in it and the broken capsule. Got the reflector out. It's amazing. It's actually just a piece of metal. There's nothing really reflective in here. It just bounces light back and reflects off of here and yellow fog light. So I've got to remove this yellow glass capsule. This one was just shattered and gone, so I've got to remove that housing. And then you can see why this one's shattered. This is pretty darn oxidized. Just need to clean this up. I was getting worried because these were looking taller, but that's just because of what they sit in. Pushes them up higher, whereas this one's real low profile. And then this one seems to match it pretty well. That one's a little darker yellow, a little taller. This one's a perfect match. Way to come through, Mike. This is why I will always be a fan of Meguiar's products. You'll notice I cleaned the outside of this one. I haven't touched this one yet. That is a pretty good difference. I was thinking about using this stuff on the inside, but all this ribbing and stuff is on the inside, so it's pretty rough inside. I don't want to have a ton of buildup from that stuff, so I think I'm just going to Windex it. I'm going to do another 1 or 2 coats on here. It still feels a little rough, and if I really look close, you can see. Yeah, you can see where the difference is here. But I think these should come out alright. I think most of the oxidation was actually on the outside, so try this stuff first before going to a full headlight restoration kit, but I think this will work pretty well. Got the insides cleaned up fairly well. Just need to take care of this rust. So this is now after cleaning the inside and a second application of the Scratch X on the outside. I think we're starting to look pretty good. Once I have the lights back together, like with the housings and back in the car and everything, then I think I'll do another couple real hard applications of the Scratch X on the outside, just because I'll be able to put more pressure on it. So here's the headlight parts just out of the rust bath. They look brand new. So now, we got fresh evapo rust, and we're just going to go ahead and... Well, these clips are alright, but we're going to go ahead and put these items in. And let that go to work for a while. Now let's get these headlights the rest of the way back together. Got the new glass capsule for the fog lamp here. Got these out of our rust bath, so no more rusty ring. You can see it's a little discolored. Oxidation on the reflector didn't clean up as well as I'd hoped. I hit it a little bit with a wire brush. That didn't do much, so I'm just going to run with that as is. Got our spring. This goes over the glass capsule, which then goes into here to lock. These little slots. Twist it into place. That's it. Yellow fog lamp back in business. That goes over. Now the tricky part. Getting the lens back on. Now I'm going to heat up the sealant that's already there, because I think that's actually mostly original stuff, and it's very difficult to clean out, so I'm just going to reuse it. But wherever it seems a little thin, I'd like to put a little more to make sure that everything seals up. So I think I'm just going to warm everything up on the housing side, apply just a couple of dabs of this throughout wherever it looks like that's a little low. Now I'll warm this side just a tiny bit and slide everything together. Okay, so we're going to find low spots and just dab a little bit of this in. Let's start, ooh man, that's warm. The whole thing's warm, that's good. Let's start mashing stuff together here. Whew. Get this clip that's lost its tension. Now we're going to want to start using our clips here to hold everything in. Get one more thing. This actually slides in to help seal things. Gap. A little dabs of glue want to hold that. Let's squeeze out, that works. Get stuff warm and pull this thing together. There's that clip. Ooh. Okay. And alright, so we got the gasket in, sealant that's grabbing onto it, so that's good. I'm a little worried about this side right here. I mean, it's together, I just want to make sure it's going to seal, but I think that gets us in pretty good shape for going back together. Hopefully, there's no water leaks. Hopefully. Just want to see if I can melt that last little bit of whatever sealant's in there, the factory stuff, so it reforms. There we go. Now we'll let that set up. Alright guys, so I got both headlamps back together. This one's setting up, still a tiny bit warm. This is where the oven method would be a little more thorough, precise, what's the word I'm looking for? I'd really like to bake these with those clips on to get everything soft and then let them cure again, and then I know it's a proper seal. Whereas just going around and around and around with a heat gun, it's hard to keep things even, so hopefully between softening up what was already in there and then adding in that new stuff, that should seal them up. Now they just need one final really good cleaning and then to be bolted back into the car.